Hey everyone, it's Andrew Brown, your favorite cloud instructor, and what I want to do in this video is to show you a unique feature that is in our platform, just in case you come across it while you're doing the materials. I can't remember if it's in the free or paid tier. I believe it's in the paid tier, so I'm not trying to upsell anyone, but I just want to make sure people are aware of that while they are taking this course. But sometimes what you'll see in the follow along, so like for example, we have S3 down here, which is for Cloud Simple Storage. And I don't have them always included in the videos, but at some point I might do that. But the idea is that we have these validators, and validators, what they can do is they can verify whether you actually have the resources deployed in your cloud account. So it's like an additional check to make sure that you did it right. So for example, we have this one for S3. So it says set up an S3 bucket. It is account validation. So this tool performs an automated check on your personal cloud infrastructure to confirm its alignment with the build project requirements. Make sure you input precise values for your infrastructure components. So let's go through that and show you this. I'm showing this as an example, but you'll see them in other follow-alongs, and look out for that stuff. I believe in the to-do, it'll even show it here. So if you watch the video and you watched it to the end, or you press that button there, but you'll get your star for that. But the way it works, let's go through it. So the first thing is I want to click on this new run button. And then what we'll do is we'll have an agreement. So this agreement is confirming that you understand that you are using your own cloud account, and we are going to need to get read-only access to it, and just understand that you are using you're providing us access to an account that is your own account and is not your company's account, because obviously we don't want to get in trouble for accessing data that we're not supposed to have, and you don't want to get in trouble for that. So that's just a friendly reminder. So I'm going to click the I agree and the accept. The next thing it's going to ask for is your AWS account ID, the region that you're deploying in, and then there might be additional parameters that it wants to know so that we can test against it. So what I'm going to do is just log into my AWS account. It'll just take me a moment, and we'll fill this out for real, okay? Now, of course, I'm filling out this example here, but I just want to point out that, you're just going to have to follow this procedure, and it'll be slightly different for each one for that, okay? Be back in just a second. All right, so I'm logged into one of my AWS accounts. I have a lot of them. I think this one is my developer's one. So for this particular follow along, you would have created an S3 bucket, right? And so what I'm going to do here is go to S3, and I already know what to do, so it's not too hard for me, but I'm going to go ahead and create myself a new bucket. I'm going to make note of the region that I'm deploying in. So S3 is a bit unique because it shows global, but you are still deploying to a specific region. So we'll go ahead and create that bucket. I'm just going to say my validator bucket as a test. Notice where it's deploying, US East 1. I could change that to anything else, like CA Central. I am in Canada, so it doesn't hurt to deploy where I am. And we'll go here and go all the way down, and I'm going to go and create this bucket. Okay, so that bucket name was, I forget, it was like something like validator. And so what I need to do is copy that name. We'll go back over here, and so it's asking for the bucket name. So there's the bucket name. We need the AWS account ID. That always appears in the top right corner, and they have a nice clipboard button there to get that in there, and the region. So we deploy that in CA Central 1. So it says there, CA Central 1. You're always using this programmer's name, not the full name, but this fun handle. You can see them all here on the right-hand side if you're not sure about that. But what we'll do is go back over here. We'll paste in that user region. And so what this is going to do is create a CloudFormation template that's going to give access to us to your account. So we'll go ahead and hit save and continue. And so now we've inputted our parameters. Those have been saved. And now it's saying we need to access your cloud resources. So we want you to generate this CloudFormation template. We're going to press the button. We'll wait a moment. And we can either download this template or use the AWS CLI to run it. The CLI command is a lot easier to use, and I'm going to recommend that you always do that. And so what we're going to do is generate out this CLI command, and we're going to get this one-line command. And I'm going to go back over to AWS. Sorry, I know I'm going really fast, but it's just how it is. And at the top left corner, we have this little button here. That's for Cloud Shell. We're going to open it up. I know coding's scary, but it's really important to get as much coding experience or scripting as you can. So strongly recommend you follow along here. But it's going to open up, and once it's open, we can paste that in. Now, sometimes this wants to have some kind of EBS storage, so you might have to say yes and wait a little bit. That's just the norm for cloud storage. But I'm going to go back here. I'm going to copy this command. Okay, and we're going to go back over here. I'm going to right click and paste. And this always happens when there's a multi-text line. We get a pop-up here, and we're just going to review it. Looks good. So notice it has a template URL, so that's the template it's pulling in. There's temporary credentials to allow that. It's going to create a stack name called ExamPro Validation, and it's going to say capability named IAM. Now this might fail because I've done it before, but we'll go ahead and paste it in. I'm going to hit enter. And it looks like it's creating the stack. So we'll go over to CloudFormation. And we'll go here. And I'll just get this out of the way. I don't want that open right now. And so I'm just going to give this a refresh. And did that create that right now? That was the name of the stack, right? ExamPro Validation. That is correct. And if I go over here, what's the date today? I don't even know, because that might be an older date. I mean, it's November, so I don't think that one worked because I already had it working there before. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, okay? So I just want to point out, like, if you're doing multiple validators in the system, you always have to roll it back, tear it down, okay? Like the old one. So I'll delete that one again, because I just don't have strong confidence that it was actually deployed. So I'll be back here in just a moment as it tears down. All right, it actually did finish tearing down, so that is there. But I'm going to go back here. I'm going to attempt to run this command again. So go ahead and copy this, and I will paste it in again. We'll say paste, and I'll hit enter. And it says already existed in the stack. Well, what are you talking about? It's definitely not there. That's what I thought I would get as an error the first time around. So this is CA Central 1. Oh, you know what it is? I'm in North Virginia. So you got to be very careful with your regions. So I go over here. So I did delete one that was from another one. That's why I was confused, because I thought it already existed. I have to delete it out. This is normal in cloud, right? So just understand that when I do follow-alongs, I don't edit out the tricky parts, because I know it makes it a little bit confusing, but it really does help to demonstrate how confusing cloud can be and how to work through those problems. But over here, CA Central, so this is deployed 11/15. That's the date that I've deployed this on, so that makes sense here. So we just got to be very aware of that. So this is in CA Central 1, but we'll go back over here, and so this is done. So we know that it's done because it's here. It's in the region that we expect it to be in. So now the permissions are done. We can run the poller. So what the poller is going to do is it's now going to pull data from your account, and that way we're going to be able to then validate whether things are correct. So we'll go ahead and run the poller. And notice it says S3 API list buckets. It flashed it really quickly, but the way this tool works is it's actually using the AWS CLI underneath. So I'm just going to go ahead and just show you what this is, or just show you a quick reference here. So the AWS CLI is a programmatic way to access information for AWS. We probably show that somewhere in this course. And so the command it was running, I believe was, I should know, I coded this. It was S3 API, and then it was like list buckets. List buckets. So that's the command it ran. So really, what the validator did, it did AWS S3 API list buckets. Okay, and if you notice this, it returns back JSON. So we get back the payload. That's what we are storing in our own AWS account, which, by the way, we delete after a period of time. I don't remember how much time, but we don't hold on to your data for long because we don't really want it. But yeah, so here it's returning back that data. And so somewhere in here, that the bucket's in here, right? So we've pulled that data and it's there. And so now we can run the validator. We'll click Run Validator. And it's super fast because we already have the data downloaded. And it's doing one check here. So it says should have bucket matching name. So you can see it's loading from a JSON file that's called S3 API list buckets. We always name the JSON files after the commands. And it's looking through buckets. So if we go over here, go all the way to the top here for a moment, you can see buckets. So it's looking within this array, and it's trying to match a name called my validator bucket, which you provided to us. So somewhere in here, I have a lot of buckets in this account. Somewhere in here, there it is. It's there. And so that's how that works. But yeah, just look out for those validators. and try to run them and validate that you are able to do this stuff, okay? But we'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao. Oh, wait. I didn't show you how to clean up. I'm just running off screen here. So once you're done, what you can do is you can go over to CloudFormation here, and you should do this, is go ahead and delete the stack, okay? Because that's going to tear down the permissions so that we no longer have access to your account. So that's kind of an important thing to do. But we'll go ahead. And the other thing about these permissions is that we're only asking for exactly what we need access to. So in this permissions, it only generates out to get access to the S3 bucket, specifically what we're accessing for. So even if you left it up, it's usually okay, it's safe, but you know, if there's no reason for us to have access anymore, you should obviously delete it. But yeah, that one is now gone. And so now we are absolutely done. I'm gonna go ahead and just close this out here. But yeah, hopefully that makes it pretty clear how validators work in our system, and you see the benefit to getting that check in your real account. Ciao.